Donald Trump is filing lawsuits against major media corporations, starting with CNN. The CNN lawsuit is sort of underway. And what I mean is that the Trump legal team, which is called IFRA Law, has sent a 282-page document to CNN, basically saying, we are laying out our complaint here, and if you don't issue corrections, retractions, and apologies, not one or the other, all three, we're going to be filing in court, and it's going to be kind of lights out for CNN, at least in terms of financial damages. CNN has 10 days to respond. Now, Debbie and I, along with our business partner, Bruce Schooley, we were with Trump on Monday. We were there to talk about some of our projects, and there's a part of that conversation we won't go into, but Debbie's going to come on the podcast a little bit later, and we're going to talk a little bit about the mood of Trump and kind of some of the things we noticed about him. But he told us in the meeting, he goes, it's coming, I'm going to start by suing CNN, and then everybody else is next. So this is happening, and it's now in public in the news. So I'm not actually telling you something that's confidential. And Trump's complaint, which I've only skimmed, but which nevertheless basically focuses on the fact that CNN has been repeatedly lying about Trump all the way back from 2016. So first of all, CNN claimed in 2016 that Trump was not legitimate. They implied he wasn't legitimately elected, that he wasn't legitimately a president. And they featured all these kinds of sources at CNN, ranging from Joe Biden, Jimmy Carter, Jerry Nadler, John Lewis, Dianne Feinstein, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, many others, basically saying Trump's not the real president. And Trump's point was, according to what? By every criterion, I am the real president, but nevertheless, I'm being accused of being illegitimate when I clearly wasn't. And then second, coming to 2020, I'm now really quoting from Trump's letter, or from the legal brief. CNN claims that Trump keeps lying about the 2020 election. And here's what Trump says, quote, Trump's team says, President Trump's comments are not lies. He subjectively believes the results of the 2020 presidential election turned on fraudulent voting activity in several key states. So Trump here is making a subtle but very important point, and that is that, look, CNN is welcome to say that they think the 2020 election was free and fair. They're welcome to say that Trump disagrees. They're welcome to say that they think Trump is wrong, that he believes the election was stolen, but he shouldn't believe that. But that's not what CNN has been saying. What CNN has been saying is that Trump is a liar because Trump knows he lost the election. And Trump's point is, not only do I not know that, I believe the exact opposite, and I've consistently said so nonstop since 2020. So the point of the Trump lawsuit is that this is malicious. So malice is a legal term. And under the law, you have, in order to prove defamation, in order to prove slander, and in this case we're talking about slander and libel. Slander, the difference between slander and libel is that slander is oral and libel is written. Well, CNN does both. They have CNN.com, they write stuff, but they also have stuff that's on the air, which is oral. And by and large, what Trump is saying here is that CNN is malicious because CNN, is deliberately misdescribing Trump's position. They're implying Trump knows he lost the election, even though that's not the case. And second, that there is a radical double standard in which CNN covers other people. Now, Trump couldn't be more right about this. And what he's able to say is that, look, this is not an honest mistake. This is not that CNN is trying to figure out what Trump thinks and they're getting it wrong. No, they have a deep, inbuilt bias against Trump. They don't care about being truthful about Trump. They're happy to use lies to serve their ideological narrative. And so this is the point. In fact, the lawsuit goes on to say, by refusing to acknowledge that President Trump could be correct or that he could genuinely believe his contention is correct. CNN has willfully acted in disregard of the truth and has acted with reckless disregard for the truth. CNN's relentless and willful campaign to brand Trump a liar and purveyor of the big lie is defamatory in nature. So this is the heart of it. When you call someone a liar, you have to show that not only is their statement untrue, because they could honestly believe it, and it could still be untrue, but that doesn't make you a liar. What makes you a liar is that you know it's untrue and you say it anyway. So, Trump is able to point out 7,700 times, 7,000 times that CNN use the big lie or Trump is a liar. And essentially Trump goes, look, number one, you've got to take down these false and defamatory publications. 2, have a full, fair retraction. And 3, stop doing it. Stop using the big lie in this kind of defamatory way. Now, no comment from CNN. I mean, they can't agree to all this because essentially the whole raison d'etre of the network would collapse. But I think what Trump is showing here is that he's willing to fight on all fronts. It's very difficult to win this kind of a lawsuit, but maybe the point of the lawsuit is not even so much to impose a financial penalty as to bring CNN's absolute journalistic malpractice into the glare of public light.